Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host. And in studio with me, my main man, Jamie Angel.
Happy Thursday! Almost Friday.
Friday Eve. And we are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Love those guys and gals over there. They'll take care of you. Beal and Abear, your hometown lawyers, hometown attorneys. Give those guys a call. Also broadcasting live on Rumble, rumble.com. I want you to go to rumble.com. Go check us out. We're live. You can see us, and you can also follow us, and we want you to follow us. All right, let's dive right in, man. I tell you what, stumbled on this article from Walt Garlington over at the Hayride. Man, the Hayride has been hot lately, big time. We've relied on them for several stories here, several articles. But Mr. Garlington, well, that's pretty serious. He's warning that today's redistricting fights might be more than just politics. They could be a warm-up act for a real civil war. Okay, I've heard other people drawing on those parallels. I've heard some connections to that theory. But in the article, he draws a pretty sharp line between the Civil War, the war between the states, as he calls it, in the 1860s and what's happening now. Now, back then, we know the South didn't want to take over Washington. They wanted to leave Washington. But today, though, these map battles are about raw control of the U.S. House of Representatives. So there's some merit to this concern. Not yet going to call it a fear, but definitely some little bit of merit, a little bit at least. I mean, look, man, we are divided. We are divided. So few little notes here. Democrats are going straight up scorched earth. I mean, like, here's the torch, here's the gasoline, scorched earth in reaction to the Trump-backed redistricting in Texas. I know they want to blame Trump, and Trump has definitely said, I want those 5 seats. I get it. But that didn't just draw up, that didn't just come up on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. That didn't just come up with Governor Abbott or the Texas state legislature. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bud, but the Supreme Court said those 5 districts are not constitutional.
Yeah.
So you got to redraw them. What?
They were gerrymandered.
Unjustly. Unjustly gerrymandered. But the leadership across our country, these Democrat governors, no way. We're going to fight back. Kathy Hochul, she had to get in. That's the governor of New York. Kathy Hochul says, this is war. We're at war. Well, we are at war. I don't think she uses contractions. Calling it what she called it? A legal insurrection.
Oh, Lord.
Gosh, these folks just know how to press a few little buttons. Gosh. Oh, yeah, but Newsom, the crew, guys. You know this. Newsom, Pritzker, Hochul. They're all moving to change maps in their respective states. California, Illinois, New York, all to lock in Democrat power, even though there's no legitimate legal reason to do so. In Texas, there is a Supreme Court ruling saying the districts have to be redrawn. They have to be redrawn. Okay, well, with elections have consequences. A majority of the folks sent Republican majority to Texas. Unlike Louisiana's Republican majority, they actually fight for Republican districts in Congress, and whereas we just hand them over to the Democrats on purpose, and then defend the suit in court with our tax dollars. Only Louisiana can write that story. Only Louisiana can write that story. That is bizarre. So Governor Newsom, that's your boy.
Not my boy.
We talked about he has good hair like Joe Robideau.
What do they call him? New scum? You have a new scum?
Yeah. So Newsom has even floated eliminating all 9. That's crazy. 9. There's actually 9 GOPs. He wants to eliminate all 9 GOP states in California. 100% Democrat control. That's interesting. So, Newsom wants them all gone. Hochul, well, she wants to disband New York's Independent Redistricting Commission. What is with these Democrat governors, and how come Louisiana can't have something like that?
I was listening to whoever the guy before us, Eric Erickson, and he was talking about Massachusetts said that they don't have any Republican districts. Like what are you talking about? Unless they mean on the state level, but I mean, even then, what's it matter?
That is so funny. That is so funny. I'm fighting Trump too. I'm fighting Trump. Look at my districts. The Axios. Oh, this is an article from. Garlington was referencing a piece from Axios, and that piece cites that says that Democrats believe they can use 2026 to grind Trump's agenda to a halt and push for a third impeachment. Well, they don't need those seats for that. They're pushing for that no matter what. But yes, that it is important. I mean, a lot of us cover this a lot more, so it's easy for us to, it's just like anything else. If you follow it, you're gonna see. But I mean, read the tea leaves. I mean, that's your boy with the cane already filed his impeachment.
Al Green.
Yeah, that's my buddy.
Let's stay together, loving you weather. No, he's terrible. Are they still holding the Texas delegation hostage in Chicago?
Hostage? They're probably no telling how much money they've spent. No telling how much money they've spent.
Speaking of money spent,
yeah.
A little off topic, but I asked you while I'm thinking about it. Did you get a letter from the governor?
No.
I bet you did.
Oh, I might have. Jamie might have thrown it away.
$400,000 in taxpayer dollars he spent to send those letters out.
I remember some folks saying something
Moon
about
and
it.
Joe were talking about that.
That's who it was. Okay, yeah, and honestly, I might have, but Jamie sometimes she usually keeps those for me, but
Imagine if you had spent any tax dollars
sending
goofy letters out about
or any
mission accomplished about a mission we don't even know that it's accomplished. We'll find out though. They're kicking in now.
Yeah. No, we're gonna see. So how much was it?
$400,000 is what Joe told me.
Wow. It was, and you may not know this. Was there a demographic? Was it like chronic voters or?
I think you just sent to everybody.
Everybody in the state.
Well, for $400,000, you better have sent it to everybody in the state spending that much money.
That's a lot. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think in my math, head in my math here. 4 million, 50 cents, about one, maybe.
There's about 50 kids you could have given school vouchers to with that $500,000. We try to get our kids in that.
When you say that though, because how many? There was only like 40, right?
Or 40 or 80. Like it was
in the whole state.
Stupid amount.
Right in the whole state. Yeah, when you start making comparison on things you could do with the money, yeah, man, that kind of folks don't like that, folks, and nor should they. It's like we say, just let government do what government does.
Just waste our money.
No, do what government's supposed to be doing. I'm sorry,
okay.
do what government's supposed
to.
Oh my goodness! All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Oh, the #1 show in Lafayette, by the way. Between 3 and 5.
At 3. If you're on the airways from 3 to 5 in our parish, we're leading. Woohoo!
Thank y'all.
That is not us. That is literally all you. Thank you to our wonderful audience. We love you. We appreciate you. We respect you. You are definitely what makes this show work, especially on our calls and our chats, which I should have announced. I want you to app chat us on Rumble, rumble.com. Go in there. Let's see you. Let's get it rocking. Phone line's going to be open next segment. Let's continue our discussion on this possible. What Garlington over there at the Hayride says is possible real civil war, but different terms. You know, this time it's over this redistricting stuff, not any states' rights, slavery, anything like that. But Garlington points out that in this situation, in this scenario, he ain't wrong. Neither side looks likely to compromise. I mean, look what we just covered. And separation into red and blue confederations isn't on the table politically. I mean, how do you do that?
We're gonna talk about that here pretty soon. What the president wants to do.
Well, he's bringing common sense is what we're about to talk about. But let's finish this point. So the article goes into a deeper point. We've stripped Christianity from public life. We've ignored the saints and replaced divine guidance with man-made idols. Now even AI. So it's worth going in. So, my take. These Democrat governors, they're not even hiding the ball. I mean, this is like they're saying the quiet part out loud, openly plotting to change rules, to rewrite maps. Look at them. And erase GOP representation altogether. I mean, Newsom literally wants to take all 9 Republican seats and make them Democrat seats with no legal basis. See, these Democrat governors in the DNC need to remember SCOTUS, Supreme Court, told Texas you got to redraw them. They were illegally gerrymandered based on race. You have to do it. So Texas is doing their duty. And don't get mad at their Republican majority for drawing it in a way legally that favors Republicans. I wish our Republicans in our legislature did that. Our Republicans had a choice, and they chose to give it to a Democrat. Very interesting. At a time when our majority was at 1 in the House. We've beefed up a little bit since then. But Garlington is right to call it zero sum. The blue state power structure has no interest in coexistence. It's not even in their vocabulary. It's not in their mindset. They want control, full stop. Full stop. They can call Trump's Texas strategy audacious all day, but look at what they're doing. California, moving to wipe out every Republican seat. New York, doing what Newsom did. Killed its independent commission. Illinois shielding partisan refugees, probably at some cocktail party right now. They scream about insurrections while waging a slow motion one of their own. They're doing it right in front of our eyes because they get the cover of the media. And media, guys, like seriously. This should be able to be clickbait for you. You should be able to sell a lot of ads. This is kind of juicy. You would think. So is it not ads? I thought ads drove you. Maybe it is really ideology. I mean, we see that here locally, at least in this area, which is where you shouldn't. You know, local folks should be shielded from that, but we're not. Thought we were. And here's the part the media will never touch, though. You know, our political climate didn't get this toxic by accident, okay? The more we push faith out of the public square, which is part of this article was talking about, the more politics becomes the new religion, and the more vicious the battle gets. We've traded moral grounding for power plays. Do you see it? Do you see it? We're seeing it right now. We're looking at it right now. We've gone from prayer to press conferences, from saints to sound bites. You know, the left wants to convince all of us that what we're seeing here is some kind of fairness. Like, oh, this is fair. They want us to push fairness. It's fairness. No, it's about hardball, and they're swinging for the fences. If Republicans don't match that fight with strength, with skill and principle, 26, that map won't just be unfriendly, my friends. It possibly could be locked against us for a generation. This is a big deal. It's a big deal that's getting virtually no coverage. No coverage. Now, I get it. If Governor Abbott in Texas just all of a sudden just willy-nilly said, you know what? We're going to add 5 seats. I just think 5's a good number. We're going to add 5 Republican seats. If he would just willy-nilly want to do that, well, he couldn't. The Supreme Court, there's such a difference between what Abbott's doing and what these 3 Democrat governors are doing in New York, Chicago, or Illinois, and California. Abbott is following the law. The Supreme Court said you have to redraw these districts. Don't get mad at it, a majority Republican legislature for drawing districts that favor Republicans in a legal way. I'm mad that our legislature didn't do it. Just gave nothing against Mr. Cleo Fields, Congressman Fields. Nothing against him. Hey,
he had a good day yesterday.
Did he really? Did he really? What happened?
I'm looking at a post.
What happened?
Vincent Pierre, y'all remember him?
Democrat state representative working for the.
Yeah.
Yep.
He says yesterday's schedule began with having coffee with Mayor President Boulay, spelled with a Y,
all right,
and community leaders. Then a visit with Congressman Cleo Fields.
Woo!
After which we toured Northgate Mall, the Holy Rosary Construction Site, and
yeah.
Smile Action Agency, culminating in a town hall meeting.
They didn't want to go to Brown Park?
Well, she's fighting hard for her base.
Go hold them Democrats. Man, those folks in Brown Park, though, I don't know, man. They're not too happy.
I mean, why not hold a town hall with Congressman Clay Higgins?
Well, she's a Democrat. You know that. Hey, where were they at, though?
Let's see.
I saw one the other day. It was both of them.
That's Black Cafe. Great place. I ate there last week.
Yeah, they got a lot of great places. Yeah, there you go. Some community activists right there. That's good. Yeah. Y'all should go check that out.
Look, Cleo. Look, Cleo.
Hey.
Working hard for Acadiana.
That's right. Yeah.
What's he even doing here? Is that a district?
Hey.
Part of it?
People got to run for Senate. People got to run for governor. And you had 2 people in there. I'm not saying he's running for Senate. Hey, look, I'm not mad at Cleo Fields. I'm mad at my fellow Republicans in Baton Rouge. And I'm telling you guys, I've spoken to so many legislators about this topic. Hey, if y'all had to vote on that again, don't BS me. Would you vote on that district again? And I haven't had one say yes. I hadn't had one say yes. Okay, well, I know this is crazy. I know it's a novel idea I'm about to give. Y'all can call a special session. And guess what else you can do? You can introduce bills in a regular session. We don't even need a special session. We could just add it to the roll call there. Just put it on the floor, speak with the speaker, put it in committee, speak with the Senate president, put it in committee. Let's go. Redraw it. How about this? Do you know, you might not be able to direct the AG on what to defend. I think that might just be the AG's opinion. I don't know that answer, but I am, and I like our AG. Y'all know that. I just don't understand why we are voluntary. Me and you, all of us, Louisiana taxpayers. Why are we spending our money to defend a Democrat district that was created out of politics, bad politics, like backroom deal ilk politics, based on the fake justification of race? And by the way, let's just take the politics out. Let's just go race. I thought racism was bad. I know it is, actually, but racism is. But I thought Democrats were, wait. Doggone it. I forget that pesky history thing. They're the party of slavery. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, they are laughing their tails off because somehow they have flipped the script of the history of the Democrat Party. Today, same slave master, different slaves. But, hope is still out there, and I have a lot of hope, guys, because we're about to open up that phone line. I can't wait. 232-1542. I can't wait to hear from you. welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Abear, your hometown attorneys. I love that commercial. Your dad had a guy.
Yeah.
You always had a guy. Call those guys. They're your guy. You got legal questions, call them. Beal and Abear. Love those guys. Thanks for the support of the show, fellas and ladies. We certainly appreciate that, and we appreciate our audience. We want you to go to rumble.com, look at us, and also chat us like this nice
Desi.
man.
Say, what's up, fellas?
What's up, Desi? Oh,
Come on, Desi, you want us to call you Desi? You want us to call you Cerebral?
yeah, we're confused,
You let us know.
but I love it. So phone lines are open, guys. 232-1542. I see you out there, Rumble. I see all those viewers. Thank you, guys. We
All 40
appreciate
plus of you.
Hey, man, that's great.
We got a couple of app chats.
Yeah.
Kill Switch says, congrats, guys, on being number one. Y'all deserve it. Well,
Well, that's y'all.
you want to know what it takes to be
That's
number
honest.
one. And Jay in Lafayette says, can we tell Jeff Landry we will donate to his fund if he changed the map?
Yay! That might get somewhere. It might get somewhere.
I think there's other people paying more to get what they want.
Well.
Just saying.
All right, so we're about to go over something that might make your blood boil. It sure as heck it's common sense, so we'll probably cheer, but we'll also probably get upset on how, well, we know what's going on. All right, so Avery Lotz at Axios is reporting that President Trump has instructed the Commerce Department to immediately start working on a brand new U.S. Census. One that will not count people who are in our country illegally. Here's my question. Why was that ever a thing?
Because the Constitution says you will count the whole of the persons,
I understand.
which I think people interpret to mean every person.
Yeah, well, the Constitution does protect persons. There's no doubt about that. I just don't think I think there's a different, I don't know, I just disagree. How about that? I disagree.
I think it definitely should be challenged and it should be
Yeah.
clarified.
Exactly. So the answer is, if you want to know what's the law on that, we don't know, because it's never been challenged and that we don't have a Supreme Court ruling. So that is in part why the president can at least try to issue an executive order. We'll see where it goes. It's not a constitutional crisis, Democrats and CNN and MSNBC. It is the constitutional process. Do not confuse the two. We have been battling this out. We're only 250 years old. I know that may seem like a long time, and it is great. Quarter of a millennia to have best doggone country in the world. Okay? Got all that. But we're still young. We're not old. So we got ring, and our founders were brilliant in how they established the Constitution and the three branches. And then our Supreme Court starts filling things in over the years, and they do it slowly, and that is a good thing. You don't want the courts to act quickly. You don't want the courts to be activists. We preach on that all the time, us conservatives. Don't legislate from the bench. Let our elected officials do that. Let our representatives who know our voice go and make the policy, not judges. And most don't. Most get that. So the White House is making this move, again, only to count Americans in the American census. White House is making this move as part of a broader push to get red states to draw congressional maps that favor Republicans ahead of the 2026 midterms, is what the Democrats are arguing. There's truth to that, sure, no doubt. But take that out, because we can be objective. Objectively, who thinks that non-Americans should be counted in an American census? Call us, 232-1542. Phone lines are open. We've been quiet this week, but not on Monday, not on Tuesday, just yesterday and today. Let's go. 844-766-6607 if you're outside the Acadiana area. But yeah, they'll say that, but look at this objectively. Who thinks it's a good idea? Like someone had to say, hey, I think we should count illegal aliens. I think we should actually do this a lot. But here are the key facts. Trump posted Thursday on Truth Social calling for a new and highly accurate, best accuracy census that uses modern day facts and figures. Don't know what that means, but it's a quote. And draws on information from the 2024 presidential election. Okay, all right. So there might be some more things to that than just alienage, just where you're from, citizenship. But he made it very clear on this: illegal immigrants would not be counted. That was a crystal clear point. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Let's see here. Caller, you alive on the Josh Guillory Show. Hey, Renee, what's up, Renee? What you got, man? I can't see it because that screen.
Yeah, I hate that the way the elites and the left have the manumission mentality for all the people under them, especially the right. I mean, they in their flunkies. They have the manumission. You know, manumission. Instead of them and their family do that, or when they deal with minorities, they want to throw somebody under the bus to satisfy the crowd instead of worry about right or wrong, or no, we're not going to do that.
Okay.
The left's so nasty.
Yeah,
these people perverted and sick.
They need to give love and peace a chance. How's that? And that's what I'm saying. Like your typical, you're just generic liberal. I mean, you can hang out with those guys and just say, you're just way out there in some other solar system. But you know what? We love each other. Let's go. But man, the current state of the extreme left, it's like Renee said, man, it's like evil. All right, Eddie, what's up, Eddie? What you got today, my man? Bring some common sense.
All right, can y'all hear me like this?
Loud and clear, Lima Charlie.
All right. All them Republicans that you talked about that did that register, and they said that was the worst vote they ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope you know that they're lying to you, right? Because if they really felt like that,
yep,
they would call a special session and we fix that.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
So
exactly.
I think they're all lying, bro. And you have a good day, and I'll finish listening to your response.
Well, thank you, Eddie. I think most of our audience is right aligned with you. And yes, I'm giving those public servants, those nice public servants, the benefit of the doubt. And you are spot on. Just call a special. Actually, no, don't call a special session. Put it in a regular session. You don't need a special session for this. This is a common sense measure. All right, let's go to the next caller. Caller, you are live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good afternoon. Will Murphy calling from Lafayette. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in 1912, a man named Eldridge Gerry started rewriting maps in Massachusetts so that he could keep getting reelected. And it's been going on ever since then. And I believe it's called gerrymandering. I'm correct on that, right?
I think so.
I don't know all the history, but I know the gentleman's name was had a Jerry in it. And I'll tell you what, I have no reason to doubt you. And that is some interesting little history there.
And,
sounds familiar.
Another interesting little fact where the Texans fled to beyond Massachusetts was they went to Illinois. And it's my understanding that the Democrats have 14 seats in Illinois and the Republicans only have 3 seats in Illinois, yet 42% of the vote went to Donald Trump.
Ooh,
That is so interesting.
That is an interesting stat. Wow, 42. Man, that's
42%.
look, that is such a good point, and it feeds on we've had a significant increase in certain demographics this last presidential election that voted Republican. The question goes, did they vote Republican or did they vote Trump? And as much as I'm a Republican, I have to say I think they voted Trump more than Republican. But hey, that was a great call. I bet you this is going to be a good call too. Caller, you are live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Shane from Lafayette.
Hey, Shane, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. I'm going to start off pleading ignorant.
Okay.
Whenever they do the census things, is it just for political purposes, or do they also use the census figures for public services and whatnot?
Man, I love your call, and I would start off with this. I'm more ignorant than I'm not. I mean, I know more. I know less than I know. I mean, I know less. You know what I get. But no, to your point though. So it's mandated by the Constitution. So we know all that. Every 10 years you have to do it. once in a while, the court will intervene, like in Texas, and say, no, those districts are wrong, in this case, unconstitutional because of unjust gerrymandering. So you got to redraw those, which is much different than these other guys. Now, to answer your question on point as far as services, my understanding is yes, that Congress will use those, but the administration will use that a lot in creating their regulatory rules, distribution of assets, distribution of services. So there's multiple uses to the census, way more than just drawing congressional districts. So it's a great question.
The post office zip codes. Zip codes, area codes.
Yep.
It also determines, just things like city boundaries. If you're a city, a town, or a village, things like that.
That's true. Yeah. So, hey, great call. Great call. You got anything else?
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
You the man. All right. Guys, we got some good calls today. That's what I'm talking about. I told you our audience was the best. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. We'll keep those phone lines wide open. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Beal and Bear Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. I had all that time in the bumper.
Right. It's like stressing me out, man. It's fine.
If you didn't see my dear battle buddy and producer's facial expressions when I walked on.
They did.
Well, on Rumble they did.
No,
No?
it was just you.
You hit it? All right. Well, that's good. All right, let's keep this discussion going. Oh, man, it's so interesting yet so silly. It is so interesting but so silly. All right, so the Constitution again. We talked about this. Good calls, man. Good calls. Phone lines are still open. 232-1542. But just recall, Constitution says, yep, got to take a census every 10 years to apportion congressional districts. But one note that this article from Axios says is, and it's a good point, it takes years to prepare for a census. And whenever you do something new, like we're no longer counting illegal aliens, well, it takes a few years to get in there. Interesting, the Texas thing, just let's all put that aside. That's an outlier. Rarely does the court get involved in districts, and rarely do they deem them unconstitutional, and rarely do they deem 5 in a mid-census time period.
Rarely for a state that size. I mean, apparently in Louisiana, this just happens all the time.
No, we just give it to them.
But I mean, I feel like Louisiana, every 10 years, we go through the same crap when it comes to redistricting. Like, get it right.
You don't think other states do?
Oh, I do think other states go through the same stuff. But you said it's rare.
No, it's rare that the Supreme Court.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's rare the Supreme Court comes in and rules a district unconstitutional, much more 5, and then in the middle of a census cycle. So just the rarity of it. I just don't want us to compare what's going on in Texas to what's going on in New York, Illinois. Where's Bay?
Do you think
Bay got snubbed at the CMAs, man?
Bay brought all of Destiny's Child out at her performance in Las Vegas last week?
Oh,
All the members.
what?
Well, all 3 of them. But I mean,
Not all the single ladies.
they might be single. I don't know. My question for you is:
Yes, sir.
you ever think we'll get to a point where everything will just be calm, like where
I
it's
hope
like
so.
there's no big crazy,
Yes.
like this is nuts, man.
Yes.
When we are gonna get a break?
Yes. Look back in our history. I compare these times a lot to the 1890s. I don't know why. Well, no, I'll tell you why. In the late 1800s, 1870s, 1880s, 1890s for sure, okay? This thing called yellow journalism, meaning there was no objectiveness. It's what we have today. You have these hit pieces, you have these quote-unquote media outlets, but they're really pushing an agenda.
Like the Current.
Yeah, exactly. And the Advocate too. Probably the Advertiser. I hadn't seen anything from them lately. But you would have these organizations pushing this and claiming to be journalists, claiming to be objective sources. Well, that took a couple of decades to figure out, and it was before the internet, before phones, before all these things, and it was also before journalistic standards. And for a while there, we had it right. We went through decades of objectivity, or at least more than what we have. I mean, it's just here's the news. You do with it what you want. You do with it what you want. We're not going to push it. And you bring it back to today, or you bring it to today, and it's very analogous, very similar, very similar. We got the same hit pieces, different entities, trying to pretend to be journalists. And they're pushing an agenda. So I think that pendulum swings. I think I wasn't there in the 1800s, late 1800s, early 1900s. But I would imagine the folks, the market, if you will, the market of getting news, that market, probably grew tired of that crap. Probably grew tired of that. And I think that folks now, that's why the media today. And there was a poll a couple months ago, and I saw it come up recently on one of the national guys, probably Fox, because it's negative on the media. Mm-hmm. But 21%, only 21%, and it's not 21% approval. That poll said 21% of Americans do not believe the information that the media puts out to be true. That means 4 out of every 5 Americans walking around do not believe. It's not that they don't like. They may like or not like. they don't believe it to be true.
Wait, you said only 21% don't believe it to be true?
No, only 21% believe it to be true.
Gotcha.
Only 21% of Americans believe that what the media puts out is true, is accurate. That's horrible. That is, and media, sadly, you did it to yourself, but hope is not lost, though. You can change. Just report facts. Just report truth. And it might actually sell now. I know it didn't sell. I know Feel Good didn't sell in the past, but you might actually sell some ads.
CBS is catching on?
Yep. And in that same poll, 40% of Americans believed the information that came out of the White House. And that was during Trump's tenure. It was about 3 or 4 months ago. So no time. I mean, I think in time we'll get there, but I think it'll be peaceful. I think we have peace. I'm an eternal optimist. And here's the deal. We know we can get there. We know we can. We know that if we just put aside some of the silliness that we've been looking at, mainly from the top down, then possibly we get there sooner rather than later. But anyway, all right, that's it for hour number 1, man. Hour number 2, I can't wait. We got some stuff to talk about. Be right back. afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear studios here in Acadiana. Beal and Abear, your hometown lawyers. I'm trying to get Lance or Kenny on the show, man. I love when those guys talk, and I've heard them speak several times. Just interesting folks, and but even better lawyers. Give those guys a call, Beal and Abear. Love them, and thank you for the support. We're also broadcasting live at rumble.com. I want to see you on Rumble. All right, you can chat us on there as well. Let's go to a different topic.
Let's do it.
Well, Vladimir Putin wants to meet Trump. President Trump. Again, yeah. So Axios, again, active little publication on our show today. They're reporting that Russian President Vladimir Putin and President Trump are looking at a meeting soon. This time, possibly next week, by the way, and possibly in the UAE, United Arab Emirates, though the details are still up in the air. Very interesting. So the Kremlin announced today that Trump and Putin had agreed to meet, but Putin later said it was only a mutual interest for now. Only a mutual interest. What? Stop playing games. Y'all
What
go.
game?
No, I'm talking about them.
Oh.
Stop playing games. Only a mutual interest. What does that mean?
I don't know.
So the White House wants to follow that meeting with a 3-way peace summit, including Ukrainian President Zelensky. I think that's fantastic. Why not? That is the problem. In Russia, you're acting like you have all this negotiating chips in your bag. I mean, we are surrounding you economically. Look at the deal we made with Japan. Look at the deal we made with Europe, trade deals. Look at the deal we made with India, although they started acting up, but still, the deal's in place. All these economies, especially the energy sector, that all puts a little pinch in Mr. Putin's economy. Hits him where it hurts.
Pinching to Putin.
So Putin is hesitant on the trilateral idea. While Ukraine worries, he's just trying to soften Trump's stance. Well, I mean, he probably is. And so are you. But, I mean, Trump did not create this war. This war did not happen on Trump's watch, but he is, I mean, you could see it, actively trying to end this in a way that doesn't screw us or our allies.
I kind of want him to continue with this whole tariff thing. Just squeeze him out, man.
Squeeze him out, man.
What he's doing with India, 100% the right.
Yes, and man, we'll cover that at the bottom half of the hour. The tariffs and Liberation Day. Trump's envoy, Mr. Witkoff, Steve Witkoff, he met with Putin yesterday, where Putin floated this whole little summit idea. So that's what I'm saying. They're playing games with the words, but it is good that they're talking. You got to talk. It's like with the congressional Democrats blasting Trump on talking with Putin and meeting with Putin. Hey, how are you going to get a peace deal if you only talk to one side? You're not going to.
It's like with North Korea. You remember they were all, why would he meet with Kim Jong-un? Well, maybe because we're tired of playing these back and forth little games, and why not?
Exactly. And
when
look,
Nixon met with the Chinese leader, I mean, nobody threw a fit.
Different media. Way different media. Way different climate. Way different climate.
But it was seen as a step in the right direction. Why is it not? Why? Y'all wanted me to get it fired up. Why? Dagnabbit. Making peace.
So Putin advisor, this name I'm not going to try to pronounce, but I think I can get his first name. Yuri. Y-U-R-I. Yuri Yushikov. Well, he said a location was agreed, but Putin later called the UAE just one possible site. Putin's playing.
But where does he want to meet?
Putin, you playing with words over there in the Kremlin.
Putin said we're going to meet in Tehran.
Psych. Then he's going to pull it. And then Trump said there's a very good prospect of Putin and Zelensky meeting soon, but caution, he's been disappointed before. I feel like this is such drama.
What is?
Like we're talking about high schoolers here. Like he's not They're not going to the prom together, but they kind of are, or they kind of like each other. No, send a note.
It's political theater.
It
That's
is
like,
something.
oh, we're going to have this meeting about Epstein at the vice president's house. No, we're going to change the location now because too many
psych.
people know about it.
Psych. I mean, look, I'm poking fun, but I love what Trump's doing. I mean, he's playing this very well, very strategically, and rightfully so. He confirmed secondary sanctions on Russia are coming, and he doubled down. Double tariffs on India. You saw that for buying Russian oil. So India had got their act straight and then turned their back on us. And then Trump says, not a problem. Doubled it.
But why are we waiting on Russia? You know they're not going to do what we want them to do. So just raise them now.
I like his approach.
But we've been approaching for...
No, I like his... Well, he's not going to wait long. And who knows? His deadlines are flexible. Meaning it could come up. You saw what he did to, I forgot what country the other day.
Just saying, you remember... The war is going to be over. It might even be over before I take office.
He said it was going to be over.
It's going to be over before I even take office. Mark my word.
And we all said, don't say that.
Look, I mean, we know he talks, but
hey,
come on now. At least make some progress. You've been in office for 7 months.
Hey, man, I don't care. That dude is making a hell of a lot of progress.
I'm talking about with Russia. I'm talking about specific to this.
Man, he's got those guys at the table. He is pinching them economically. He's pinching them from the energy standpoint. I think he's done legitimately, I think he's done a great job. I mean, this is a country with nuclear capabilities, and I'm still not convinced they know where all the nukes are. I'm serious. I am convinced.
After the fall of the Soviet Union, they were missing
it's
tons
crazy.
of suitcase nukes. They had dirty bomb.
So nothing we want to play around with.
We will. Just my assessment. I feel like in our lifetime we will see some sort of nuclear action.
Hope not.
I hope not. It'd be terrible, but just.
Mass destruction. I think they're going to seek mass destruction in a different way. There's EMPs and all that. So hopefully we're preparing. I know a few folks that were preparing.
Yeah.
They ain't in office no more. All right. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said there's still a lot to overcome before any three-way summit. So, little Marco getting in my way. Zelensky says Putin looks more inclined toward a ceasefire, but warns not to be deceived. Well, how do you know? I know I'm being such a skeptic here. In my same breath, I'm saying I love what the president's doing. I'm not. We've
been there. We've been here before. We've been there with the peace talks, and here we are still. I
like how Trump's playing it. He's not investing all this time. He's saying, yeah, I'll meet when you're serious. In the meantime, I'm going to tear up the dog heck out of you if you don't get your act right. And here's the deadline, which could move. I don't see how the president could do any more. I really don't. We're at war with them. We're at war with China. It's an economic war. Probably other aspects of the war. We saw biological. We saw that a few years ago. All right, we're taking a break?
Yeah.
We'll take a little break. All right, when we get back, we'll finish this topic and so much more. Ooh, I can't wait. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Abear, your hometown attorneys. You got legal questions, give those guys a call.
I just saw a very interesting statistic.
What you got?
So yesterday we were talking about big balls, remember? He got beat up by them kids.
Farmer Doge guy?
333 carjacking arrests in D.C. I want to say since beginning of the year, or since 2023. 56% of them were under the age of 18.
Wow.
Parents, man.
Well, but you want to correct. See, that's such a Democrat-run entity. They want the government to be mommy and daddy. They want the government to be God. They want government to be everything. But government isn't everything. There's three pillars of that our country was founded on: church, family, and government. Church, family, and government. But over years, the church or the family started giving up their power, giving up their authority to Big Brother in exchange for something. Money, programs, whatever. Something.
Government's not going to spank your kids. Not going to give them pow-pows.
Well, you know. And then you have the churches doing it. You know, oh, tax break this. I'm not against the tax breaks. I'm just saying there are certain aspects. Take the tax. That was a horrible. Take that out. There are certain aspects that churches do in communities that the government just can't do as well, like the social services. Take homelessness, for example. Take like these panhandlers. I'm just saying Lafayette is becoming the panhandling capital of the world. Just make the flyers, have a festival on it, something.
Despite the millions that were pumped in to address the problem.
Oh my gosh, that's what I'm saying. But it takes a leader to enforce the law. But anyway, take that aside. Look, we have to have those three pillars. That's what our country was founded on. We have to restore the family. We have to restore the power. We have to empower parents. We have to empower the family. We have to encourage the family. We have to incentivize the family. A good family with structured order will take away so much of the burden that government has tried to take on only in exchange for power. I mean, come on. Come on now. The church does wonderful things for the poor, for people in need, other social services that they're designed and equipped to do, not government. And then there's government. That's the other pillar. But 1/3 of it.
But the parents of these kids probably unemployed, probably living off the government.
The government needs to whip the parents. Why don't y'all get your little behinds over here? We're paddling you. Every time your little juvenile delinquent goes and whatever, vandalizes a car or beats up poor big balls.
Well, it's the same thing, and it's just Democrat-ran cities. Baltimore, for example, we were
poor
there,
Baltimore,
living there a few years ago, and they would have kids on dirt bikes actually go and stop traffic so that the other kids on the dirt bike, they caravan of four-wheelers and dirt bikes, stopping the city streets.
Get your little self over here.
Boy, if only. if only when it gets the law to whoop some tail.
So let's go back to Putin and Trump, man. They're wanting to meet, but they're not wanting to meet. Putin says he'll go out with him, but no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I said I was interested. No.
Yes or no?
Yeah. Do you like me? But look, put the jokes aside. I love what Trump's doing. I love how economically we're using the tools that we have. He understands we're at war. He understands we have been at war for a long time. Actually, folks have been at war with us, and we haven't been at war with them, and that's the problem. But using these tariffs to create an economic pinch on our enemies, yes, do it. I'd rather fight with tariffs than the lives of American men and women. I would much rather fight with tariffs. And they're effective. And no tariff is the same. And no use of tariffs historically have proven to be identical.
I think it's so funny when people are like, oh, he's a fascist.
They don't know what that means.
Really? Do you see him beefing up the military and running a military state and just throwing it? No, he's using diplomacy.
Yeah.
Like the most we've seen diplomacy used probably since Bush and 9/11.
And look at what he has used the federal government in local and state instances. It's only two that I know of. California, because you wouldn't clean up the violence in D.C. Again, you won't clean up your violence. You
just let people paint the street.
I know, man.
Like,
so
just
let me tell you something, man. That boy.
They invite it. That's what I'm saying about DC is that they invite that to happen. They allow that to happen because you either allow it to happen in your city or you don't. We allow that crap to happen. You most certainly did not. And if it did happen, you did everything. You were out front trying to push back against it. But no, you have a whole subgroup of people wanting this. They want this drama. They want this controversy.
They need it.
Oh, they live for it. Your boy Devon lives for it. That other guy was smart. His partner that used to do all the advocacy with him. He hauled ass.
Yeah, he was smart. that young man, he's confused. Doesn't know if he wants to be a preacher or a thug, and he's identity crisis.
His heart. He's got a good heart. I'll say.
Who?
I want to think he's got a good heart.
The gentleman that starts with a D. Mm-hmm. No way.
You don't think?
He was trying to burn our city down in 2020. He was doggone leading protest. Baloney.
It's misguided.
So, back to Trump. I like the diplomacy. Like you said, probably strongest since after 9/11. But this was, this is so different, but tough, direct, and backed by consequences. This is a president that like Schumer tried to paint him out with like chicken out. You're the one that chicken out because, he was holding out. I forgot what he was holding out on. The big, beautiful bill, I think it was. And then who chickened out? But Trump isn't handing out like photo ops for free. He's not just going out there. He's putting tariffs on India for buying Russian oil. That's consequences. And doubled them. You want to go back on your word, India? Here you go.
See you.
Secondary sanctions. And he's showing Putin that American strength isn't just talk, not under this administration. We could even barely talk the last administration. But you don't get peace by going over there in the Kremlin and begging for it. That culture ain't even going to come close to respecting you for that. It is different over there. And it wasn't that long ago that we saw the Soviet Union. Well, who thinks this former KGB has lost his stripes? The guy that's been in charge for how long? You want to talk about fascists?
He just goes from president to prime minister, prime minister.
He knows what he's doing. And fascism. Conservatives and Republicans want to decentralize government. Democrats and liberals want to centralize government. Fascists want centralized government. No matter how much you call Trump or his supporters like us fascists, it doesn't make us fascists. And and if you take the anti-Semitic stuff too going on around the country, who's pushing that? You're the fascists. National Democrat guys. I don't blame the folks. The folks that are just registered Democrats, I don't blame the folks.
Speaking of fascists.
Yeah.
Biden went to ice cream shop twice this week.
Woo!
I feel so bad. They're showing like the surveillance video of him from and he's just moving around like a really, really old man.
Well,
and this guy was our president less than a year ago.
Hey, less than 7 months ago.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, guys, stick around. We get back. Oh, yes. Open up those phone lines again. I can't wait. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Again, we're broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Hebert, your hometown attorneys. You got legal questions, give those guys a call. Wonderful folks over there, great team, great staff, great lawyers. Beal and Hebert. All right, my favorite part of the whole show, Jamie, and that is the phone lines. Locally, 232-1542. Outside the Acadiana area, go to that number right there. 844-766-6607. We're also open for chat. You can be like our friend Ezio. Chat us on the Rumble chat. All right, let's go to, let's see here. Renee. All right, and then we'll go to Miss Rosemary after. All right, let's go. Renee, what you got?
Yeah, we got freedom of the media. They got freedom to do what they want. But, I mean, if you could have a movie rated X-rated or R, and you can have a label on tobacco that should have deceptive, that should have bias, unreliable or unreliable, and force it to be on the screen the whole time. And whenever they mess up and don't put what they are, they need to be fined.
Well, all right. Probably a lot of folks shaking their head. Okay, let's see. I think this is Miss Rosemary. Rosemary, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I just have a quick comment.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
That is this is actually to you and to tell you thanks, because after this big rush of rains we've had, for the first time in a long time, ever since they busted up that spoil bank on the Honey Island Swamp, okay, the bayou is not rising. We feel very safe. Just giving you a heads up on that.
Hey, that means a lot, and please, I know all the folks in your crew. I'll keep it private, but please tell them thank you for everything, and we love them, and we appreciate what they do for the community, and you too. But thanks for that call. Go ahead.
Well, thanks for what you did. That took a lot of courage, common sense, and it certainly made a difference to us down here in Abbeville. It's an amazing difference. The bayou was very much under control, and that's solely because of that activity and the busting up that spoil.
Well, I appreciate it, and it's so interesting. I mean, so many folks came before me. I mean, like, look, this project was in the 90s. The Corps wanted to do it. How many times did they have public votes on? It's like, man, just wow. But hey, very grateful for all the people way smarter than me, Miss Rosemary, that did all the design and all that stuff. But also thank you to the councils, thank you to the legislature, and even our former governor for approving all that stuff. It took a lot of team effort.
And thanks for implementing it.
Well,
Somebody had pulled the trigger.
I appreciate you. All right. Well, thank you, Miss
Take
Azar.
care.
All right. God bless. Great. That was nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So let's move on. Hey, I will say this though. I had some engineers like every once in a while send me some stuff, and like, hey, those gauges, some of them are way above my pay grade, but it is pretty comforting to see the science, and like you can actually see a lot of that stuff working, and very, very just very grateful that folks are being helped. Anywho, let's switch gears. Let's talk about tariffs.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about tariffs and Liberation Day. Hey, so Anderson Hackstrom over there at Fox Business is reporting that President Trump's long-planned reciprocal tariffs officially kicked in today. The world is still on its axis, Jamie. Don't stress out. You don't have to balance. The moon is still in the sky. It will be tonight. The sun is still out there. We're still breathing.
Look, I got crypto, so every time the stock market goes down, my crypto goes up.
Why is that something? You're diversified. Yeah, well, the Nasdaq's up. Dow's down. Dow's down about 200, 250. But that's okay. S&P slightly down. But you would swear that today we're supposed to be like.
I thought it was going to crash.
Yeah, I thought this was like the whole Great Depression too.
Thought we was cashing out our 401ks or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're all anyway. So the reciprocal tariffs, they're hitting more than 60 countries and the European Union with tariffs of 10% or more, and some of them a lot more. These were first announced, remember back early April, I think it was April 2nd, Liberation Day by President Trump. Did the speech with the graphics, but Trump ended up delaying them to give nations time to make a deal, which is good, negotiate. Many of them did, and we've seen that. and we've seen the mutual benefits, and we've seen all these globalists. That's why I'm saying they only care about power. They don't care about the people in the globe. But look how many people around the world have benefited by some of these deals. You don't think those folks in Japan want to have access to American cars? Come on now. You don't think
they might?
I think they would.
They got Hondas there. I mean, what else you need? Them Hondas take a licking, man. They keep going.
I'm trying to pull
Still,
for the Americans.
Buy American.
Buy Americans. Anyway, we can keep on and on. All right. And in some areas, they won't be helped, like when we take their jobs and bring them here. But sorry, we gave it to you for 50 years. Now we need them back. We need the American jobs. All right. So, a few little facts here. In the days leading up to the whole deadline, Trump locked in major trade agreements. We've talked about these. The one with Japan was supposed to be at the time, $600 billion trade deal, 400, 600 billion. It was the largest at the time. A week later, the deal with the European Union comes in. That was like a $1 trillion or $1.1 trillion trade deal with not just the trade deal for as it relates to deficit or not, but just the fact of access to different markets, on top of the manufacturing jobs, on top of all the other benefits that we've reported on. Even South Korea, yeah, they're our ally, but we weren't treated fairly there either. Vietnam, all these places. So India, well, they didn't make the cut, buddy. They didn't make the cut. In fact, we just talked about it. After they made a little deal behind our back with Russia, Trump said, no problem. We're going to help you out. We'll go ahead and double up those tariffs. Got it. I mean, talk about a slap in the face to us, India. We gave you a great deal, and then you turn around. If you didn't like it, just say no. But don't turn around and then start funding Putin's war.
So India is another one you got to watch out for. Also, nuclear power.
Yeah.
Also, has their issues with Pakistan mainly, but
they have nukes as well.
Yep. So we gotta be careful with all these crazy folks. Modi is I don't know. He doesn't seem like he's got it all there.
You don't think?
Nah.
So yeah, I think Trump's going to revisit India. Clearly, he's going to let them feel it for a little bit. Canada, our friends up to the north, they got hit too.
They don't want to play.
I know. Tariffs on Canadian goods jumped from 25% to 35%. Again, that's on top of earlier 25% tariffs on steel, autos, and other products that fall outside the USMCA. Yeah, United States, Mexico, Canada agreement. Let's go back to the phone lines. I know this gentleman has some spice. Warren, bring the heat, my man. Don't hold back. That's you, Warren.
Oh, wait, that's not
Matt.
That's Matt. I'm sorry. Put the wrong name in there.
Back. Come on now.
Please forgive me, Matt.
Matt, he called you Warren. Go ahead, Matt. What you got, buddy?
It's all good. It's all good. As long as you don't call me late for dinner.
Hey, man, I'm with you on that, buddy.
What you got?
What I find truly amazing, and I guess it's an exercise in futility when I talk to some people, and they say, "Oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about," but they have no idea what the USMCA is, or NAFTA previously, and or the CCT for the EU for that matter.
There you go.
When it comes to those trade agreements, or even the fact that Tata Motors in India owns Jaguar, but they charge us on the imports that we get on their vehicles, but we don't charge them. But that all changed now. But they have no idea about that. They don't even know what BRICS is.
Yeah, exactly.
So I suggest a lot of them always get out of their coloring book and at least go back and try to read.
Them coloring books they got from USAID?
No, I mean, it's pop-ups just aren't available now.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. Matt always brings a colorful discussion. Hey, man, how come those Sesame Street characters look different than the ones when we were growing up?
Look, I again got me with this headline. CBS host. Does moon base make us colonizers again?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it does. We're going to colonize the moon.
That's what we're doing. Yeah,
100%.
And all the indigenous aliens are going to
another word
our subjects.
that they bastardized.
Yeah.
Come on.
CBS. Oh, now we're going to call. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, well, matter of fact, we own the whole moon.
Working on Mars, too?
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that's what it's called, colonizing.
And these people hate America. They hate America greatness. They hate exploration because it makes us great. But boy, if Russia was sending a rocket up there in a base, they would be celebrating it as some kind of major victory. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Abear. Can't go wrong with those guys. You got legal questions, call your hometown attorneys, Beal and Abear. All right. Let's continue to discuss this a little bit more. We're talking about tariffs and Liberation Day and all these things and what's happening and who's getting tariffed, who's not, who's playing ball. India's definitely not playing ball, but let's keep going. So here's the fun part. A lot of people are saying, this is what what a trade reset actually looks like. When you do put our interest, American interest, remember those guys, American politicians, remember those? Our interests? When you put us first. The global freeloaders, they just learned that the days of using our markets as their doggone ATMs are over, at least for 3.5 years, maybe more. But the days of these trade deficits with America, at least for 3 years, gone. And I don't see even a Democrat or an elite being able, I could see them messing it up. But it's a slow bleed. It took us 50 years to get here. Trump's coming in here and...
Well, if it works, then the next person has to worry about absolutely nothing.
Well, you say that, but you got people that come into office and undo things just because their predecessor's name is on it. Like you see that.
Oh, yeah.
Like you get what I'm saying? So like this, I could see that. But hopefully it would be so much good that the outrage of that comes with changing it would hopefully motivate them not to do it. And this is Republican and Democrat, because I know I said Democrat, but this is Democrat and Republican. Elite is bipartisan. Remember that. The elites are bipartisan. The uniparty. We got the elites, we got the bureaucrat party, we got Republicans and Democrats.
If these folks were smart, you just do away with tariffs. Free trade all around.
Well, that's what Trump is doing. And it's not free, it's fair. We want fair. That whole term free trade, gosh,
tariff free.
No, I understand. But okay, so you talked about diplomacy earlier. Mm-hmm. The thing about Trump is he's not doing this whole traditional coffee table diplomacy. Oh, we're gonna talk, we're gonna pretend we're friends and we're gonna go flip the bird at each other behind each other's back. Just none of that. He's using the one language they understand. Money, 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 money. Money. You want access to the American consumer, you better know you're gonna treat us and you're gonna treat the American worker with respect. I don't think our country has seen a president that who's at minimum, his policies help the American worker, but who actually cares about the American worker? It's going to be hard to find someone that cares more about the American worker than Trump, and I genuinely mean that. Just the fact that we're bringing jobs back, that in and of itself, and good jobs that create competition, that drive wages that are reasonable, and yeah, everything balances out, but everything balances out. And it's more so than just American jobs. It comes on supply chains. It comes with our economy, our GDP, everything.
The more you say that, the more I think about it. When he fired that Bureau and Labor person last week, the more I think that was probably a great idea. Because how is it possible that last month Trump only created 12,000 jobs? Yeah. I mean, get real.
Yeah,
that's insanity.
Yeah, no, it's true. And let's focus on action. I mean, everybody listening, none of us care about talk. Like I always say, don't look at my lips, look at my feet.
Unless you're watching on Rumble.
Yeah, then you look at our lips. But look at the scoreboard. How's that? Japan, the UK, the EU, South Korea, they all came to the table. And why? Why? Because Trump's tariffs aren't a bluff. They know it. If they wanted to come to the table before, why didn't they? There's only one reason they came in. That's the tariffs. And they know he would follow through. It's a promise. He doesn't start with, hey, what can you give me here? Well, or how, no. How about this? What we've been saying, what can we give you? Like the U.S., the United States, for about 50 years, it's a slow bleed. Yeah, make it rain. But really, it's like our diplomacy was, we lead in with, what can we do for you?
Yeah, want some free stuff?
Yeah, like what free stuff?
Y'all need some money?
What can we raise our national debt for you on?
What can we punish our citizens for by helping you?
Yeah, why like really?
What can we take away from them? How can we increase our debt to make sure you don't have
Thank you. Exactly. Man, he goes in there and he does what you and I would do. He starts with, here's what you're going to give us, or you're going to pay at the port. You got to use what you have available. You got to use the power for good. And if you're going to use the power for good, use the tools that you legally have at your disposal. Tariffs are there. Congress could easily stop them. Some of them tried. They didn't. They know what's going on. If they didn't like it, they would change it. But they're not. At least a leader is leading. And at least a leader is leading with our interests first. And I think that's so refreshing. Love him, hate him, don't like how he talks. I don't care. Look at the policies. And this is something Democrats and Republicans can sing for joy over. Come on now. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.